Hey guys, this is Mel, and I'm here to talk about the 100, episode 504, titled Pandora's Box, which premiered Tuesday, May 15th, 2018 on the CW. I am recording on the 17th. Normally, I would record immediately after the episode is aired, but Tuesday night, I couldn't really do that. So I'm doing it now. So huge spoiler alert, wow. If you haven't seen the episode already, please go do so first, and then come back and see what I have to say about the episode. Otherwise, my other video reminders are up on screen. Take a moment to remind yourselves of those. Also, another shout out to Mr. Legendary AO for your very long and much appreciated comments about the episode. I truly look forward to those, and I hope to see them more in the future. So with this said, I'm going to try to do this in 15 minutes because, to be honest, there's no way I could do it in 10. But start the clock and let's begin with what happened in this episode. So timeline-wise, this episode continues where 502 left off for the bunker and where 503 left off with the ground and with the space. So both storylines are now lined up with each other. A huge episode reminder is the fact that you get a lot of reunions in this episode, and the objective for this episode is saving our people, which applies to both sides, whether you're talking about Wong Crew, people from the sky, or people from Aegis. They're trying to save their people. So huge episode breakdown. You get the three different locations: the ground, the space, as well as in the bunker itself. So in regards to what's happening on the ground, you get Bellamy striking a deal with Charmaine, and that is to help them open the bunker in exchange for their Aegis crewmates that are in space under a cryogenic hostage leverage, whatever you want to call it. So there's that. Now up in space, you have Raven and Murphy watching over the cryogenic prisoners while Raven is trying to face off against hacks made by Zeke and to stay in control for Bellamy. In the end, though, Raven and Murphy are forced to awaken the prisoners to save themselves so that the Aegis from on the ground don't kill them by opening the airlocks. Otherwise, doing so will kill their own people. So there's that. So within the bunker, though, we are trying to figure out why Kane is in the arena. And it turns out that meds were being stolen. He was taking the fall and was actually Abby. So there's that. Plus, Kane is tired of violence, so he tries to refute the punishment, which just infuriates Octavia even more, which she's called upon as Blood Reina, Red Queen, officially in this episode, I believe. So there's that. We also find out that the starting number for the bunker was 1,200 people, and it has now dropped down to 814 people. That's a massive drop. But the last moments of the episode show Octavia declaring war on Aegis, who had fired the first shot on Octavia. So there's that. After they made the shot, after Aegis declared the Shallow Valley as their property. So there's that. Tidbit-wise, though, we have Raven out-hacking Lieutenant Zeke, awesomely. Also, we have Raven not able to find any files about Aegis 3. She was able to find information about Aegis 1, 2, and 4. So there's that. Also, we find out that Abby has been addicted to pain medications to the point that she can't function without them. So that's very startling there. And we also have Abby and Kane are taken prisoners by Aegis, who need a doctor for a cure, and in order for Abby to safely go with them, she bartered that Kane had to go with her, since Kane is kind of being exiled from Wong Crew. Or if anything, he was supposed to be sentenced to death due to his arena status. So there's that. Also, we see Charmaine wanting to go to space to get their people, as well as to put an end to Raven and Murphy's interference. So there's that. Moving on to ship status, as you were, we see Bellamy and Clark being reunited. So there's that. We also see Bellamy reuniting with Octavia, not to the extent he did with Clark, but still he gets his reunion with his sister, and then they kind of start talking business, but you still get the two of them together. Also, we see Murphy and Raven kind of making some sort of truce type of deal. He offers to pull the kill switch so that she wouldn't have to. It's very much parallels to what Bellamy and Clark went through in 216, except for the fact that they both agreed silently that they would pull the lever together so that they both shared the blame of killing the people in Mount Weather. In this case, Murphy is offering to Raven that he will do the deed if she can't do it. So there's that. But plus, they also grow closer in the fact that they're trying to bond while up there. Also, we see Kane and Abby still together in the present day, still loving one another, so that's great. Also, we see friendship of Kane and Indra. She doesn't want to see him throw his life away due to his guilt, so she's trying to get ways for him to fight back, even though he kind of refuses as he's tired of fighting for this long. So there's that. Moving on to most shocking moment of the episode, I will have to say it has to be Raven and Murphy deciding to release the cryogenic prisoners to save themselves. And I will say what Raven did. Survival instinct sucks. Because now they are stuck on a ship with just under 300 criminals. Deadly criminals. Not just teenage delinquents. Deadly criminals. So, there's that. Moving on to top 3 favorite moments. Do you really have to guess what the first one's going to be? It's the reunion between Bellamy and Clark. Hello. The fact that they got that moment to just stare at each other and fully take in the fact that they are sitting in front of each other and then hugging each other and feeling that they're actually there. And then she was telling him that she knew he'd come, and just like all that is just, I'm glad they had a moment to have that moment together. And then from then on, they were like side by side partners in everything. You can even tell when they dropped down in the bunker together and then they took in where exactly they landed in the arena. They shared that one look with each other, and it was kind of like them saying to each other, oh crap, what the hell happened down here, type of thing. So they're still on the same wavelength on some things. So there's that. Also, tying into the Bellamy and Clark reunion is the fact that you got the sort of reunion between Clark, Raven, and Murphy over the radio call. I loved it. You just got Raven's shocked reaction, and then you got Murphy smiling over the fact that Clark is alive. So those two have really come a long way here. And also the fact that Raven thanked Clark for saving them. It's just like, wow, I can't wait for them to actually be face-to-face when they reunited. But I'm just glad that Raven and Murphy are now aware that Clark is alive as well. So loving that as well. Another favorite also goes to the reunion between Bellamy and Octavia. It was just great to see during a moment when Octavia has to be the very powerful Lorena. And then all of a sudden her brother drops down, and you can see that shift where she's like, she's not the leader anymore. She is this little sister who just finally got to see her big brother again. It's just like that shift was just fantastic for them to have that moment. And then also to tie onto that, or I'll get into that later, but then to also have them talking later on, kind of catching up with each other before talking about like what the dire situation they're currently in, type of thing. But yeah, I'm just great to have the Blakes back together again as well. Also, another favorite is all the other reunion hugs. I should have just grouped them all together as one favorite, but I couldn't do that. They all stand alone on their own. But we do get the brief reunion between Clark and Octavia. With their handshake arm grip thing. We do get the reunion between Clark and Abby, mother and daughter. We do get the reunion between Clark and Kane, as well as Kane and Bellamy. And then we do get the reunion between Bellamy and Nathan Miller, which I'm loving. You got to remember, they were like, Miller was kind of like Bellamy's second command before he was co-partners with Clark. So it was really great to get that moment where there's like, miss you too type of thing. It's like, yes, finally. Also, moving on though, let's move on to my last favorite, and that has to be the little soccer game up in space between Raven and Murphy. I'm glad that they got to have a little bit of fun. It sucks that the alarms kind of cut that short, but it's great to see them experience that, because I don't think living on the Ark before and after their experience on Earth allowed for them to play soccer. I don't think. So there's that. But moving on to top 3 peeved moments. I will have to say I do not like the fact that Raven and Murphy are now in danger from having just under 300 criminals on the same ship with them trying to kill them. I mean, they are going to try to kill them. It's just no other way. I mean, why wouldn't they? Yeah, anyways. Another peeve of mine is the fact that Abby left with Allegis. I mean, at least she took Kane with her, so she's not completely alone, and that he has a fighting chance since one crew wanted him dead. So, but it just sucks that Allegis has what they were looking for in the doctor, and now they have all the manpower they need. But apparently Allegis needs Abby to find a cure for something. Don't know if I mentioned that already, but that's kind of the whole reason why they need her. But moving on to what moment will I remember most when I look back on this episode? The reunions. All the different reunions we got to have, for sure. So let's move on to random questions very quickly. First one, will Octavia change her ways like Kane had hoped she would in order to save one crew of their own violence? they definitely descended into glorifying the arena instead of viewing it as a punishment type of a thing. So Kane does have a point, though, but I'm wondering if Octavia will change her ways. Will she change them now that Bellamy and Clark are now back in her life? I have no idea. We'll have to wait and see about that. But moving on, next question. Do Bellamy and Clark disapprove of the arena they landed in? I mean, it definitely looked like it. I did mention it before. But I'm wondering, I know Bellamy kind of touched based on it when he talked to Octavia for a bit, but the situation kind of didn't allow for him to go further into it. But I'm wondering what his take on that would be. So since she did kind of get the information from him when he was telling her about the old ways of ancient Greek and Rome back when they were growing up. So there's that. Another question. What does Allegis need curing for exactly? Is this some type of radiation poisoning? Is it something like they're going to need some light blood or something? Or what is it? So there's that. But another question. How did Charmaine know that Abby was the doctor in the bunker? I mean, she's not the only doctor. I mean, you still have Jackson, but like, how did they know that she was the doctor? I doubt that anyone from One Crew or Bellamy and Clark, I doubt they would have mentioned to Charmaine that Abby was the doctor. I mean, it just didn't make sense to me how, yes, it's understandable why they would need the doctor and why they would search for one, but I don't remember them making the connection or how they found out that Abby specifically was the doctor they needed to find. So that's a question there. Also, I tried to find the scene on YouTube for the last 2 days. Couldn't find it, so here's the question. What was Bellamy looking at after he hugged Nathan? For some reason, they was focused down towards like his hands or his utility belt after hugging, after their hug. So I'm just wondering what the focus was, if it was just me misremembering it or something, but I would love to know or be directed to the scene for that. So there is that. And the last question was, is there any chance that someone from Allegis is an ancestor of anyone from One Crew? As you know, all the people from Allegis are from the time before the first apocalypse, the time before the world became uninhabitable. And then you had the 97 years up in the Ark, and then they tried going back down with the 100 delinquents. So I'm wondering, because of you had the Grounders who grew up on the Earth, and then you had the people from the Ark. I'm wondering if anyone in Allegis who was from 100 years ago, if they are ancestors to any characters we already have met, known about, what have you, because that's got to be really creepy, because in a way Allegis kind of time traveled essentially to the future, technically. So there's that. But moving on very quickly, based to predictions, based off the promo for 505, it looks like One Crew takes the trek to Shallow Valley. It looks like there's something alive inside someone's belly. I mean, it definitely had me remembering the movie Alien. Just instead of the chest, it's, yeah, the belly. It's creeping me out, though, when I see the promo. But the synopsis reads for 505 that Octavia leads her people towards Shallow Valley against the advice of Clark and Bellamy. Meanwhile, Kane and Abby adjust to a new set of challenges. Those challenges being now that they're under the control of Allegis. So there's that. So I don't really have any other questions from that, but for some news, as of May 7th, the 100 was renewed for Season 6, and on May 17th, today, at the CW Upfronts, it was confirmed that Season 6 will be a mid-season return for the 100. So nothing new for us, but we're going to have to wait just under a year before we see the adventures continue. But we still have a good many episodes to go this season, and it's really amping it up, to be honest. I'm kind of surprised we got all these reunions in the 4th episode. It's pretty fast. Essentially, I mean, time-wise, it's 6 years and 7 days, maybe a day or two past that. So, yeah, I'm just glad we're getting them very quick. That means we're going to have more chances and more opportunities for all the characters to be together and have more scenes before the season ends. So there is that. So with that all said, what did you guys think of the episode? What did you guys like about it? What do you think is going to happen next? Let me know in the comments down below. Love to hear your own thoughts, theories, and opinions about what you think is going to happen next. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I read blog promos, web clips, quotes, gifs, synopses, news, all that good stuff, all found in one place, so go check that out. I am behind, but since this time is roughly when the finales end for the television series, I'm hoping to catch up very soon on a lot of it. So be on the lookout for that. If you want a detailed recap of the episode, a play-by-play, if you will, check. Nope, scratch that. Wrong one. I just did the Supernatural video. But if you want WordPress account, link for that is down below. It connects everything that I post online, all found in one organized place, but it is a work in progress, so keep that in mind. My voice is going. Sorry, guys. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your patience. I hope you come back next week to see what I have to say about the next episode. I also will post a video pertaining to the CW Upfront, so be on the lookout for that as well, as the 100 will be mentioned in that, as well as all the other shows expected for next year. Until then, guys, this is Mel. Wish you all a great day, great week, wherever you are. There's the timer. Have a fantastic day. Bye.